Hey everybody, it's Andrew here, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking one of two things. One, Andrew has lost it. He's teaching too many classes, and he's just totally lost his marbles. Or two, this is clickbait. And I will tell you that neither are correct in this. So, it's story time. This is a pretty incredible story. Hang around and listen just to my cat. So my cat disappeared about 2 years ago, back in 2017. In September of 2017, he was 5 years old. His name was Jensen. And this cat was a terror. Anyways, so back before he disappeared, he did something to my computer. And let me show you what he did to my computer. So, take a look here. Look at the keys. There are a couple of keys of missing. So this character, he ripped off the number 1, the letter D, and the letter S off of the computer. So they still worked from time to time. The S was great. It was just a little tough to press. The 1, no problem. But that letter D, I had the computer and I kept it up until recently anyways. The letter D would get stuck, so it would just jam and it would be like D all the way across the page, and it would just do that sporadically. So you didn't know when it would happen. It would just happen sporadically. So anyways, that would happen, and sometimes it just wouldn't work at all. So I would have to with my computer, I'd have to sometimes either pick words that didn't have a D in it, or I'd have to cut and paste a D from somewhere else. And anyways, you're probably wondering, where is this story coming from? How does that have anything to do with VIPKID? This is where it gets interesting. So let's now talk about my show name. So, of course, my name is Andrew, so that is the first part of my show name. And guess what letters are after my show name? No joke, my name is, on VIPKID, Andrew DS. No joke. The odds, I worked out the odds of me getting those two letters, and they are 325 to 1. That is the chances. So if you put $1 bet on this for me to get those letters, you'd win $325. Those are the odds of me getting those letters. It's pretty incredible. My cat Jensen is probably laughing up in heaven about that my show name is Andrew DS. Anyways, so, and another funny part of this story is I had this computer up until recently. So I actually still was using this computer when I was teaching with VIPKID. So the funny part about this is I couldn't type in the chat box because my D would get jammed. And if I tried to type, it would have D's all over it. So I would be saying, spell this or whatever, and it would have D's all the way throughout it. So anyways, I didn't use the chat box very much at all because my D would often not work. So, needless to say, we finally got a new computer. We had enough of the D's and my Jensen still striking me that way. So, anyways, that was my little funny story. And again, it is a funny story. And sometimes I will say, and I've said this often, there's little things like that that happen after the fact that you say, okay, is this the direction I should be going? Is this the job I should be taking? And often we don't know. We don't know up front, but we see little things like that, and they sound a little bit trivial, like the DS. I know it's sort of funny, but it's something like that that God will confirm to you. And it doesn't have to be something like that. It could be anything, just little things after the fact. We find out that, yes, this is where I need to be. For whatever reason now, this is where I need to be. I mentioned, and I'll link my video up above here for the job that I quit. I quit a $51,000 full-time job with the government of Canada because it was just terrible. I wasn't doing anything at all. Take a look at my video. And this is where I came to. I jumped right into VIPKID. It's been nothing but a blessing so far. I'm so happy doing this job. And anyways, take a look at that video. And also, I'll resume back to my tips here. My next video will go back into some tips. So we'll go into day 4 of tips. If you haven't taken a look at my other videos on tips, just take a look. I'll also put those as well for you to click on. So anyways, a funny story. What funny stories do you have with your show name? If you do, I would love to hear them in the comments or anything else. Have a good day. Bye.